All right, let's get into it. We're living in wild times. Prices on houses have gone completely off the rails, not just in one or two countries, but basically across the globe.
Yeah, and what's crazier is how normalized it's become. Like you see a listing that's been sitting for 6 months, and people still pay asking because it hasn't dropped yet, as if that's a sign of value.
Exactly. It's like saying, hey, the madness hasn't slowed down, so it must be fine to jump in. But let's be honest, homeownership has become more of a psychological trap than a financial asset for a lot of people.
Golden cuffs, right? You technically own the house, but really it owns you. The mortgage, the maintenance, property taxes, it all adds up and your freedom shrinks.
And people keep repeating this outdated mantra that renting is throwing money away. But is it really? Especially when your mortgage locks you into a high debt lifestyle for 30 years?
Not to mention the opportunity cost. Let's say you sink 100K into a down payment. How much could that grow if it went into a diversified portfolio instead?
Plus, housing isn't liquid. Try offloading your house fast in a downturn, and you'll realize how stuck you actually are. It's not like selling some stocks on a Tuesday morning.
And what about mobility? Want to move cities or even countries? Owning ties you down. Renting gives you agility. In this economy, that flexibility might actually be your biggest asset.
Here's another angle. Homeownership is loaded with emotion. People get attached, they think of it as mine, even if the bank technically owns most of it.
That emotional bias clouds judgment. And then you get irrational behaviors, like bidding wars over totally average houses, just because everyone's afraid of missing out.
FOMO-driven buying is like walking into a casino because someone else won once. It's not logic, it's pure herd mentality.
And yet, sellers know this. They play the psychology. Oh, it's been listed for 180 days, still asking full price. And some poor buyer thinks, well, it must be worth it, right?
When in reality, stagnant listings might signal overpricing, market softening, or that the property just isn't that desirable. But people get tunnel vision when housing's involved.
And then there's the forever home myth. Like life is static. Jobs change, families change, life happens. Committing to one house forever? That's not always smart.
Especially now, when economic and climate instability are real. The idea that a house is a safe long-term bet, questionable at best.
Honestly, the rational approach is to run the numbers cold. If the rent-to-price ratio makes 0 sense, and your ROI is negative after maintenance, taxes, and interest, you're not buying an asset. You're buying a liability dressed up as an investment.
And yet, we romanticize it. Home is where the heart is. Sure. But if your heart's buried under 500K of debt and zero liquidity, maybe it's time to rethink where home really is.
So maybe the smart move isn't to buy. Maybe it's to rent, invest the rest, and wait until the market stops frothing like a shaken soda can.
Or if you already own and your house has appreciated into the stratosphere, sell. Cash out while the madness still benefits you.
At the very least, don't get caught in the narrative that ownership equals stability. In this market, stability might come from not owning.
Something to think about. How much are we really gaining from owning, and how much are we sacrificing without even noticing?
Exactly. Is homeownership still a dream or just a really expensive illusion?
We'll leave you with that. See you next time.